That's a good one for these waters, isn't it, Tofield?
Now that is a nice Pickwick smallmouth.
O'Neill Outside with Travis Johnson is presented each week by Works Power Share. Share batteries, save money.
Hello again, everyone. I'm O'Neill Williams, and welcome to our program. I've got a good friend that's born in Brooklyn. He lives down south now. He's a fabulous fisherman. And he kept telling me about all the great fishing there in New York. I'm thinking, who goes fishing in New York? So off we go. Bluefish, stripers, a great friend of his named Maz, and it's fabulous. All in sight of the Empire State Building and the Staten Island Ferry. It's today on O'Neill Outside. It's not your ordinary fishing show.
Set the stage for me, Henry.
What you got there, O'Neill? You got a striper?
I think so. Could be a striper.
Striper or a bluefish, buddy? Oh, there we go.
Got it.
Doubled up.
Doubled up. 1 ounce bucktail.
1 ounce bucktail jig. All the years we've been fishing Lake Lanier, and these fish, pound for pound, just fight so much harder.
How about that? Behind me is Coney Island, New York.
New York.
So how you doing?
How you doing? You wanna grab that? There you go. Beautiful. Look at that.
All right, mine's on a bucktail jig and yours is on?
One thing that you have to do, you have to kiss your first New York striper.
You do what?
You have to kiss your first New York striper.
I know, man.
Come on. You have to do it for New York, you know.
Uh-oh,
Right.
I want to see this.
Yeah, nah, you guys are yanking my chain, aren't you? Yeah.
I'm serious. It has to be done.
Oh, no, Joe, come on, man.
You gotta kiss the
Little
first New-
smooch. There you go.
Hey!
There he is.
There it is. Mr. Striper.
There's a certain efficiency of casts here. All right, give me the rundown here. Where are we?
We're fishing right in the entrance to New York Harbor here. That's where we are. We're right outside of New York City, and we're fishing one of the many rips. There we go. Right on top that fish took. Oh! I'll tell you, whoever says New Yorkers aren't friendly, these fish are as friendly as it gets.
A little larger
A little
fish.
bit bigger.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Nice. Nice fish. On a fly. On a little flash down minnow.
Flash down minnow.
Flash down minnow. A little bit of bucktail, a little bit of rabbit. And the reason we call it a flash down minnow, O'Neill, is because the flash on this fly is tied on the bottom of the fly. So when the fish is looking up at the fly, he sees the flash.
I see.
So we call it a flash down minnow. Very, very effective.
I think so.
O'Neill Outside with Travis Johnson is brought to you by your Southeast Toyota dealer. Let's go places. Fire Aid. Don't fight fires, extinguish them. Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. Year One Muscle Car Parts. And by the Georgia Department of Tourism and Economic Development.
I think I'm supposed to go a little faster. I got mine, Henry.
That's yours.
We're here the last week of September. It's the 25th of September. And so how long, when does this begin? How long does it last?
Well, our season pretty much starts around the end of April up here and goes until you just can't stand the cold, which is sometime around Christmas. And the fall migration starts usually right around middle of September, and it just continues to build through Thanksgiving. Oh, I got hit. There he is. There he is. And it's just a real solid fishery. You know, everybody talks about the migration of fish in Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
Well, the Hudson River has the second largest migratory stock of fish for striped bass in the United States, and we're fishing the fish that are coming right out of the Hudson River.
The Hudson, everybody, when I told everybody that I was going to come up here and go fishing with you, they said, you can't fish in these waters. It's all polluted and all that. There's no fish.
That probably was true many, many years ago. People felt that the waters were polluted, and they've cleaned up just beautifully over the last 20 years. And our fishery has just gotten better and better and better every year. So, you know, here we are fishing from the throngs of the concrete jungle. Manhattan is an island, and there's fish all around Manhattan. It's just incredible. Just incredible. And if you have a skillful guide, it's not that hard. And we happen to have a skillful guide.
Yes, we do.
Captain Joe Mascari is as good as they get up here. Here's an average New York City striped bass.
City bass.
City bass. How about that? That's a beautiful fish. Beautiful fish.
About a 5-pounder?
5, 6 pounds. Yeah, 5 pounds.
Angling technique is to let the 1-ounce jig kind of sink down. It's only 13 feet deep. And then you hop it back kind of quickly. Like so, you know, a turn of the handle once or twice and hop it back.
O'Neill, what ends up happening is on these fish that set up on these rips like this, as the sun gets high, the fish tend to move off the shallow spots and go into the deeper water.
I see.
So you have a window here, early and late. There he is. There he is.
Got him?
Yeah, I got him. There's always a fish in this corner. Little guy.
Blue?
But nonetheless, a
Striper? What
fish.
is it?
These are mean fish.
What is
little
it, striper?
Yeah, a little guy.
They sure fight better in salt water than in fresh, don't
Oh
they?
yeah, they certainly do.
Now what's this place here? Just another island in the bay here? What is this?
This is called Hoffman Island.
Hoffman Island.
Hoffman Island. It's a secret spot, so we can't use it on TV.
It's what?
It's a secret spot. We can't tell anybody.
Oh yeah, we won't tell a soul.
You know, O'Neill, it's interesting. For people who live in the Northeast, we all know about the stripers in New England and New York and New Jersey down to Virginia, but it's the people around the rest of the country, the rest of your viewing audience, I'm not sure realizes how big a playground we have here in and around the city of New York, as far as for outdoor activity.
This is the Verrazano Bridge. Staten Island
Yes.
over to Brooklyn. See, I'm so smart, it's unbelievable. How often do you come up here to do this, Henry? Tell me about it.
As often as possible. As often as my wife, the boss, will let.
So
It looks like a bluefish.
bluefish,
Yeah,
huh?
little bluefish. New York bluefish. Now you know they have teeth, so there's no guarantee
Well-
we're going to get this fish in.
Ooh, he's a
You can
pretty
tell
fish,
from
isn't
that tail, that black tail.
he? Yeah.
You can always see him with that dark tail. All right, you ready? I'm going to lean him towards you, Joe.
Oh boy.
Bluefish are good. Matter of fact, they're a little, you know, a lot of people like them. A lot of people like to fillet them.
Mm-hmm.
They've got teeth. You got to be really, really careful on the teeth on these things.
I see, I
They're
see that.
really, I mean, they can take a finger off. And this is just a small little, what they call a cocktail blue.
Now what is a big bluefish?
Up here in the Northeast, we can get blues up to probably 15, 16 pounds.
Okay.
But a more typical weight would be from the 3 to 6 pound class is typical for blue fishing in New
I
York.
see. Now what is a big bluefish and where would he be caught?
Where would he be caught? In and around here. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, and we can get them on there very readily. You'll take popping plugs. Bluefish love top water. I'm hoping, matter of fact, that Captain Joe is going to work hard and find us some schooling fish. Matter of fact, I'm going to count on it.
You know, if you're into crappie fishing, you rig your terminal tackle, sometimes with 2 hooks or 3, different size and different colors of jigs and so on. So you need to rig them beforehand so that you don't have to go through all that every time. If you break off, you just tie on a new rig. Now here's a way to do that. This is a little device from Bass Pro Shop. Have your rigs and you can wrap them around there. But there might be an even better way. I'm not sure this floats. This does. It's one of those pool noodle floats, you know, that little kids use and float around in a pool. The rig will work great there. You can put the hooks right into the noodle, and there you have a device that will float and carry all of your terminal tackle for crappie fishing. That's a terrific idea, and that's a tip from TJ at True Turn, and I hope you're getting a lot out of these.
Striper?
Oh yeah.
You got color yet? You can't see him,
No,
huh?
not yet. This fish was down about 25, 30 feet. He's still ripping some drag on me. And remember, we're fighting a fish now in the river. We are fishing in the mountain.
Where are we now, Henry? Tell me.
We are in the East River.
To the
Matter of
right
fact,
is Manhattan?
Manhattan Island. You can see right behind me is the Statue of Liberty. If I had this fish on a fly, I would have had him up already.
Ah, listen to you. Listen to you.
Feels like a bass, the way he's fighting.
I'm gonna get this. Oh,
And it's a blue.
a bluefish.
Bluefish.
Good grief.
All right. Not a bad way to start Manhattan.
Let's take a look at that. We're using 2 ounces. Why so heavy now, Henry?
Well, we need to get our rigs down. We're fishing in 35 feet of water, and we've got to get down with this strong. This current can go 6 knots when it really starts ripping. So we want to get down, and here's a little bluefish. This is a typical size bluefish for New York Harbor.
What pound test line? 12?
12-pound test.
12-pound test line, shock leader.
Shock leader of 40, and then a little bit of wire on the back end so that he doesn't break us off.
Okay, light drag. There's nothing to get hung on, is there?
Nothing to get hung on, light drag, but you really want to use this wire because Joe charges a lot of money for his bucktails.
I understand. I got him.
You got him now?
Yeah. Reeling up. I was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at my striper. Look at the size of that fish.
Oh, nice bass.
Oh.
You got a blue and you got a bass.
I got a beautiful striper.
Oh, nice. Yes, yes,
How's that
yes.
for New York City. Hey, how you doing? Oh boy, that's a beautiful fish, Joe.
That's a nice fish.
That's a nice fish. Now that's a typical New York City striped bass.
Henry, these bluefish are
Tough.
these guys are tough, aren't they?
Whew. There you go.
A blue.
Hey. That's a nice blue.
We're fishing in 40 feet of water, drifting up to a high spot, which is 28 feet,
Yep.
something like that.
Yep.
We're in, we still call this New York Harbor? No,
New York
no.
Harbor.
New York Harbor.
York Harbor.
This is the East River, right behind us here. Manhattan on the right, 12-pound test line, free spool bait casting reels. Mine's a wide spool and a narrow spool right there. 2-ounce bucktail jigs with a little color and whacking them.
That's it.
Whacking them. Joe Mastaring's our guide. He's a friend of Henry's and he's been fishing these waters for,
Oh, about 30 years.
yeah, outstanding guide. For somebody who's watching the program right now, what would you tell them when to come up here and what to expect from a trip?
Well, I'll tell you, we have a great year-round fishery. Our spring fishing has been fantastic over probably the last 7 to 10 years. For trophy striped bass fishing, I would say that New York City rivals just about any place. All Montauk, Cape Cod, all the places that are known for trophy bass.
What's a trophy striper then here?
Well, our fish, I would say in the springtime, a common fish is between 20 and 30 pounds. The springtime fish, and 40-pound fish are very common here. Loaded with fish.
Outstanding fishing. Upwards when the false albacore and the blues are running. How many you catching today? Come on, don't be bashful.
Well, it all depends. Like any fishery, you know, you have your good and your bad days, but we've cast the false albacore for 10 hours all day long
And
at
catch.
times. And, you know, you can catch a dozen fish, you can catch 20 fish on a really good day. You know, and other days are slow, but this is as good as it gets some
Yeah.
days.
Terrific fishing in New York. Is how far that way? Just over the hill,
We're
right?
about probably 7 miles from New York City.
Downtown. Isn't that something? Joe.
We have more with O'Neill and Travis, but first, let's thank these sponsors. Your Southeast Toyota dealer. Let's go places. The Whitetail Institute of North America. Research equals results. Fisher's Choice Canned Baits. And by Tough Shed, premier builder of sheds and garages. Check them out at toughshed.com. Now join O'Neill for this week's Big Green Egg wild game and fish recipe.
This week on the Big Green Egg, I'm encouraging you to try some really fancy recipes right here, and you're going to like this one instead of just frying fish, which quite frankly is okay by me, but watch this one. This is called crab stuffed whitefish. So, let's get a pan. I have olive oil, Old Bay seasoning, onion, garlic, chives, crab meat. Might just stop there, but no. We're going to do this, and I'll warm all this up and get it going. One of the accessories you're going to want to get when you're using your Big Green Egg is this half pan. This what do we call this thing? A perforated pan, because you can cook enough fish and even steaks and other things that you want to cook using only half of the grill, and allows space for something like this to be cooking at the same time. Let me get this stirred up nicely, and you're going to be surprised, I think, at what we do next. That was Old Bay, onions, garlic, that traditional stuff. Now watch. I have 3 pieces of whitefish. It can be most anything you want. And you roll this up. See if you can get it to stay together. And you begin to fry it. Here's a better piece right here. Roll, roll, roll. Now this will require a couple of toothpicks in this. Crab stuffed whitefish. And of course, on the egg, it will not take long. Big pieces, small pieces, it won't matter. Have I got your attention with this yet? I'll bet I have. Just for safekeeping, let's put another stab in there at that. Crab stuffed whitefish. Let me get this off of here. I'll use some more of that in a few moments. Now, take a look at this. We'll get it warmed up, and this more Old Bay, butter, some cream cheese, and I think that's lemon juice. As soon as that gets warm on my little pan right here, you just bear with me for a minute. Let me let that heat up. Final touch for the egg is this wonderful mixture of butter and Old Bay. And when that is all done, and it doesn't take long, crab stuffed. How can you possibly go wrong? It's going to be wonderful. Crab stuffed whitefish. You must give this a try. I promise it's wonderful. Want the recipe? O'NeillOutside.com, BigGreenEgg.com, and enjoy it. Big Green Egg, the ultimate cooking experience.
There you go. Look at that, a Midtown strike. I got one too. We doubled up.
Is it under, over? Whoa.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
I'm over. Yeah. Excuse me. Strong river fish.
Oh man.
Hey O'Neill, look what's in the foreground.
Oh, look.
The Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building right there.
Are you ready? Hold on.
Go ahead, go get O'Neill.
That's a nice bluefish right there. I mean, my reference is a little bit narrow, but
Look at that. A bucktail jig, a bluefish in the Empire State Building. Doesn't get any better.
let's put this boy back.
There you go. Good job, my man. Good job. Welcome to New York.
It was just a few years ago, I got a call from a fellow, and he's a Yankee for crying out loud, and his name is Henry Cow, and he's a fly fisherman, and here he is right here. We fished Lanier together, Chattahoochee River together, all over the South, so he says to me,
I'd like to come and take you to fish some of my home waters.
and here we are. So what would you tell somebody that may be visiting New York City?
Well, whether you're coming on business or you're coming on pleasure, New York has a lot to offer, and it's not just about the shopping. It's not just about the theaters and the museums and all the culture and the great restaurants. There is a great outdoor playground here in New York City. You come down, spend an extra day, come out to the water and catch bluefish, striped bass, false albacore. There's a host of different species, all right around New York City.
It's unbelievable. I told people I was going to come up here and fish with Henry. He said, you can't fish up there, everything's polluted. It's not. Fishing is great.
Closed captioning is provided by Fisher's Choice, the ideal solution to live bait.